Vag. What you gonna do when it's hot outside? Ooh, I know what. Listen to Vag. What you gonna do when the trains are down? Ooh, I know what. Listen to Vag.
All right.
Welcome back, guys.
This is Vag.
I'm Adrienne Appalucci.
And I'm Sarah Talamash. And,
we're back.
Back with new equipment. I've heard positive reviews. One girl, a friend said that she's a vaggie.
She's a vaggie.
It's stuck.
Nice.
We have a name.
Vaggie, are those our fans? Vaggies?
I guess so. I don't know. I guess it happens organically. Like, I guess you just name.
You just get fans and they're like, I'm a vaggie.
And then you're like, oh, I never thought of it that way.
Well, we're
before.
back in the Bronx taping this with my two dogs that are walking around, so you might hear them from time to time.
Oh, yeah. In the last episode, if you pay attention, the last 5 minutes, one of them's lapping up a whole bunch of water.
Yeah, and now one of them's trying to get into the dog food.
I love that we tape in the Bronx. I wonder if we're the only podcast that's like, I doubt it, but.
Probably us and some drug lords. or Latin kings who are like, let's start a podcast and really get our name out there.
You know, and I would listen to a drug lord podcast.
I'd also listen to the Latin King podcast.
Who are the Latin Kings?
I don't know. You think they'd come over and do Vag with us?
I'm game to it.
I think we should start having some guests on.
All right. I'm into that.
Okay.
But only exciting guests.
Like the Latin
Kings.
No
bores.
Like the Latin Kings?
Only people that could possibly go to prison.
Oh,
I like that edge.
You like that edge? Maybe
we could go deep into like a drug ring and do our podcast there.
And they're having a sting, and as we're there, we're just like, wait, we have 10 more minutes left of the podcast. Can we just stay? Let us finish the last 10 minutes.
Oh my God. We're just like, you know, I watched Straight Outta Compton last night, and we're just like one of those girls, just like in our bikinis, hanging out, smoking blunts.
That definitely sounds like me. Just hanging out in my bikini, smoking a blunt, telling people that their music's great. Your music's so great.
Oh my goodness. I was watching it. It did remember this? Did you ever hang out with people that just did drugs or like?
Yeah, of course.
Remember how like shitty their apartments were, and like a pit bull would be in there? Dogs
of course.
Just loose. A baby in the background, maybe.
A loose baby.
A loose baby. And then they're
Nobody
like,
even knew whose baby it was.
Yeah. And then you're like, what? Is this baby okay? And they're like, yeah, I can't form memories right now, so it's cool.
That's funny.
Also, it always seems
I feel like that's when you're younger, though, and there's like nobody cares about anything.
Yeah. You don't feel the repercussions. You're like, whatever, we're having fun.
Right.
But yeah, I always remember there was always like one random baby just hanging out, like a toddler.
Just walking around.
Well,
you just got back from your high school reunion.
I did.
I didn't go to mine.
You know what? I like it. I recommend it.
I'll go to the next one.
Go to the next one. It's really fun because I thought a lot of the girls looked pretty great, but like the guys.
Well, I went to an all-girls.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, so there wouldn't even be any guys there. But it's just like if the next one's in 10 years, I'm just thinking of all the people that will have died in 10 years that I'm going to miss.
Yeah, now we're just going to start losing them.
Yeah.
You hit that peak, and then now we're on the way down.
Yeah.
After that, our class is going to get smaller. We had a memorial for some of the students that have left us over the years, and I didn't want to bring it up. I was like, you guys forgot a few.
And they're like, they're not that important.
Yeah, and then they show one. It was just like a little tree with like construction paper with their names on it, like at the end of the room, probably like by the vending machines. So I felt like there was not much thought that was put into it.
But there was some thought, I guess. How many people have died from your class?
I think it was around 10, and they counted the people that were also died in high school.
Wait, 10 people have died?
We had some car wrecks, a motorcycle accident. That was in high school. One of the ones they forgot about was a suicide, but I didn't want to be like, hey, you guys forgot.
And that's probably why he killed himself, because nobody remembered him to begin with.
That's the part where I was like, I didn't want to bum everybody out on the group of like, remember that guy that we don't remember?
And that's why he killed himself?
Yes.
Because no one remembered him?
I know. It was really sad. What else? Oh, we lost one to diabetes. One was a random not wake up. I think that was about it. I think I
think
nailed them all.
I mean, from what I think there's only one person I know that's died from my class.
Really?
Yeah, to cancer.
Oh, wow. How many people were in your graduating class?
Like 300.
We had 900, so I feel like the
maybe?
ratio seems
Maybe.
normal.
Maybe.
We're at the same percentage.
Maybe 400. I don't know. It was all girls, though. I feel like most of the people that died, are they men?
I think it's 50-50.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess we'll check back in 10 years and see what the stats are.
Yeah. I hope to be the last one standing, like the Titanic.
Like on Last Comment?
Yeah. That is my goal. But yeah, I thought all the girls looked great, but then the guys look like they got stung by bees or been taking steroids and stopped working out.
Are they all like balding?
Balding, red in the face, and like bloated looking, like they've been dead in a river or something.
Does everyone think you're like this cool comic from New York? Because the listeners don't know that you went to school in Texas.
Yeah,
that
I
you're
went
from
to-
Texas.
I don't know. I don't see myself that way, nor
But
do
they
I
see that?
Maybe. But I did have this one moment where I was like, guys, doesn't it feel like one long year? And they were like, no. They looked at me like I was crazy.
Well, because they probably have 10 kids.
Yes.
Because the kids are like,
Yeah, some are in high school.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's why it doesn't seem like 1 year for them.
I know my every day from the last 20 years has been the same for me. That basically I was just admitting that I've had no personal growth in my life.
That's pretty funny.
So yeah, that was fun. And then one guy was like, do I know you? Did we make out? And I was like, I never made out with anybody in high school.
Was he cute?
He was all right. I thought maybe he might have been gay. He had that like gay workout body.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Did you ask him that?
No.
You should have.
I should have. That would have been I thought you were gay.
You should be like, you should come out at the reunion. Guys, I have something I want to tell you.
Remember in high school?
And be like, no.
You're like, oh, okay. No, that's the other thing too. I don't think any of our gays came. Also, none of
because they're probably too busy having a fabulous life.
That's what I was thinking. Also, none of our black students came too.
Because they probably hate all the white students.
Well, I have no idea.
Do you keep in touch with any of them,
I think
Sarah?
we only had 3 or 4.
Oh, okay. Then that's not that many.
No, that's not. One made it to the bar afterwards.
Like
the after party
legal bar?
The legal bar, yeah.
No, I thought you meant like she became a lawyer, like took the bar exam.
No, none of them became a lawyer.
Oh, okay.
Just I don't know. You know what? I haven't followed up on it, but
I see.
Yeah. But I only talked to like 4 people because every time you just get stuck with, not that you get stuck, but you end up having long conversations. It's only about 4 hours long.
Was there music? Were people dancing?
No, but I wanted dancing.
I know how much you love to dance.
Well, yes. But also, like, I wanted to see people get sloppy drunk and see who their true colors are.
Just on the dance floor acting like fools.
Yes, but I would have to say the hours between 12 a.m. and 2 a.m. were the best. Because
Yeah, because that's when people were
looser.
drinking.
Yes.
Yeah. Did people bring their significant others?
A few did, but a lot of them, their significant others also went to our high school, so it wasn't so weird.
Wow. I thought you were going to say a lot of their significant others were insignificant.
Not that big of a deal. Yeah. I think that's about it. And there was, I felt like one guy, occupied my time too much.
Probably likes you.
No, I think he might have a little bit of Asperger's or something.
Did he make eye contact?
No, he doesn't. And we talked about that. And he admits to that. And then the other thing too, I kept on asking about like, oh, do you still keep in touch with this person? He's like, no, I'm not allowed to talk to them. He had 4 people he said he was not allowed to talk to. That I was like,
do you ask them why? Is there like restraining orders involved?
One, he was married to this other girl that was there, and they had a marriage probably for about 2 or 3 days.
He's married to somebody for 2 or 3 days?
It was a very short term. It was a very short courtship too, and I remember seeing it on Facebook.
Okay.
And then
he's not allowed to talk to her though.
No, and I would think I'm going to be on her side on this one because I talked to her and he's normal.
Cuckoo bananas.
He's a little cuckoo cabanas.
Yeah. Marley, go sit down.
I know.
That's my boxer. Every time I come in the house, I just think she's going to be dead because she's 13.
Do you have to do like the
I don't
death
know
check?
I don't know what I would even do with a dead dog. What do you do with it?
I think you
Just put a. I think you just
call
put
the cops.
I think you just put a. I think you just put a blanket over it and wait for it to decompose.
I know. What job is that?
I think you just.
Or do you
have
bury
to
it
bring
in the backyard?
You got to bring her to the vet, and then you get her stuffed and you put her on the couch.
I'm into that.
So people can hang out with her when they come over.
Would you get old Marley or young Marley?
Oh, you think I could get her rejuvenated?
Rejuvenated? Yeah.
I guess old.
In her prime.
Nah, old.
Old Marley. I'm into old Marley.
Marley's name before that dumb book came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is Marley?
Marley and Me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But is her name derived from
Bob
his
Marley?
name? Bob Marley.
Yeah.
Is it?
Mm.
Are you a Bob Marley fan?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, of course.
There's no
Bob
Marley posters.
I don't really have anything up in this house. I mean, looking in this house, what would you think I'm a fan of?
The diner that Paul Hopper.
That's not even mine.
No, Paul Hopper is a comic. Is that Paul Hooper?
That's Paul Hooper. That's not even mine. That's Chris's.
Yeah, I cannot tell you one thing that you like in.
Yeah, because this is not like.
This is your starter
I
apartment.
Guess. Yeah,
that you've
it's
been
not like
in
I
for
have
10 years.
Yeah, it's not like I have anything in here that I love.
Oh, I'm like that. I feel like I only like to keep my place where I could just like dump it all and not be attached to it at any given moment.
Yeah, there's nothing in this house I really love.
Yeah, I feel like you should not. You should be able to flee at any given notice.
Like your house should be able to burn on fire, and you're just like, I'm cool with that.
Fine. Yeah,
I'm okay with my whole apartment going on fire.
I know. I think about that. Like if my apartment went on fire, it would probably take me about 2 weeks to get back all the stuff just at the dollar store.
Sometimes I think I leave my curling iron on, and I'm just like, yeah, it's fine.
Oh well, I hope.
Or not the curling iron, the straightener. I'm just like, whatever.
Do you have renter's insurance?
Yeah.
You could pull that Kanye West scam.
Oh, that's right. Isn't there a Kanye West scam right now?
There is apparently. Well, it's speculation or a conspiracy that Paris Hilton's jewelry robbery is
Hilton,
not Paris Hilton. Shit,
Kim Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian. Yes.
Do you know something?
Same person.
Same person.
we just switched off.
Yeah.
They apparently. I guess the conspiracy is that it's a hoax or that he is doing an insurance fraud. Because remember a few months ago he
claimed bankruptcy, right?
Claimed bankruptcy or was asking Bill Gates for like $55 million, which isn't a lot for Bill Gates. He can do it.
Yeah, I just feel like he's probably asking Bill Gates that as a joke.
Do you think
he thought Bill Gates is going to give him $55 million?
Maybe he was like hiding behind he was like, it's a joke, but for real.
I also think if Bill Gates is going to give someone money, he'd give it to a white person. I don't think he's going to give it to Kanye West. Yeah.
I feel like he's all about paying it forward. Yeah, he is.
Oh, I don't know anything about Bill Gates.
We're best friends, so I'm pretty sure.
Did he say that? Can you ask him if he'll give me $55 million?
You know what? He said if he was going to loan out any money, he would give it to me first. But I'll give you half of my $55 million.
That's really generous. I'd only like $1 million.
I know. $1 million would go so far in my life. I don't understand. Like, I remember one time Shaquille O'Neal admitted to having a gambling problem where it was something crazy amount of money that he just threw away, where I was like, why don't you
just give that to me?
Give that to me and take a risk. Just gamble on my life.
Gamble on me. Take a gamble on me.
I think the odds are better. If I make it back,
you're still throwing it away.
I just feel like if you're just gambling, then you're just throwing it away.
But
if you give it to me,
problem
you're
with giving it
somebody.
to you is like you're gonna probably say he gives you what $300,000.
Yeah,
you're gonna over the course of years use this money, and maybe you'll become famous or whatever. But like he wants to know in an hour whether his team makes it or not. He needs to know instantaneously. That's the problem. You need
instant.
He needs to know instantaneously if he's gonna lose or win money.
Well, I guess I would be like an IRA for him, like a long-term investment.
You have to pitch it to him like that. Say, look,
I'm a long-term investment.
A 30-year investment.
A mortgage plan.
I'm a mortgage plan, yes.
In a bad housing community where you
Not
probably make
necessarily.
maybe $2,000 back.
That's not necessarily true.
We'll see.
You can make some of it back.
I'm hoping, but he'll probably be dead by the time.
I mean, that's great.
That's the game plan.
That is the game plan.
But yeah, why can't they just give me some of that money? When you have so much money.
Farias had a really good idea.
Who? What?
You know Farias.
Oh, yeah,
right?
I love him.
He had an idea. He was like, I don't know why. He was like, I want to go to an investor and ask them to give me a certain amount of money and invest in me as you would invest in a stock or something. Like, look at me as a stock potential and seeing my career.
Yeah.
Like the same type of way that you would invest in a stock or whatever. Something like that. That was his idea to do that, like, years ago, and he never did it.
I don't see why not. Like, say, so you gave me $1 million, and the plan is in 2 years I'll make $2 million. I get to keep the $1 million. You get the other $1 million.
I guess you would. Well, for them, they would probably like, why would I could just keep my $1 million. I guess it would have to be you'd get $500,000 and they would get $500,000.
Yeah. Well, what if you didn't make?
That's an
Then
investment.
you just give the $1 million back.
No, there's a chance you could lose all of it.
I like this. I don't know why this hasn't been
I don't know.
game, a life game.
We could pitch somebody all of our ideas.
Guys, if you're out there, Bill Gates, Betty.
No, we couldn't go to Bill Gates. We're not big enough. We'd have to go to somebody else that has a lot of money that would want to invest.
I don't know anyone.
No, well, yeah, we don't know anyone, obviously. But
Maybe some of our comic friends.
No, not some of our. We need somebody that's outside of comedy.
Okay.
Somebody that's like in business that has a lot of money that would give us some money, and it couldn't be $1 million. It would probably have to be less.
I'd have to hit my dad's friends up. He'd be so mad at me.
My dad's dead, and I don't even know any of his friends.
Oh, really?
I mean, most of his friends are probably either dead or gamblers, and none of his friends would give me money.
My dad, we make a joke that my dad's best friend is this guy named Mr. Finley, who he's not talked to in 20 years.
He has a lot of money.
Well, I don't know. I just know that my dad doesn't have a lot of guy friends.
Just women friends?
No, just his family. We're his friends.
Yeah, so he has no friends.
And poker buddies. But I wouldn't consider those like... He doesn't have a dude that just comes out and hangs out at the house on the weekends or something.
But I don't think people do that once they're married.
Really? I have no idea what that world is like.
Yeah, I think like comics are different. Comics are not like living as regular people. We're living as children still.
That's true. You know what? When I was hanging out with my friend who's married with kids, and I definitely was like, I'm now your mom's friend. You know what I mean? Like, I'm that lady.
You're the lady that comes over, and everyone's like, when is she going to get her life together?
Why does she smell so weird?
How come she's not married?
Yes.
How come she doesn't have kids?
And then they're like, well, you know.
Not everybody's fortunate like us, Ralphie. Not everyone's fortunate to have a nice, loving home like us.
They're going to have like private conversations about like why my life is going the way it is.
I know, but you're perfectly happy with your life going the way it is.
I am pretty happy. I could do with some more money, but that's about it.
Well, we're going to get an investor.
Oh, yeah.
To invest in Vag and all of our ideas.
Okay, so if you're listening, we should actually start a page so people can donate money.
They could, but we really need an investor. I mean, we'll take your money, but we need like somebody to give us a couple $100,000.
Aren't there websites for you just put a profile pic of yourself up and then there's like sugar daddies that will pay for you?
Yeah, but you probably have to fuck those guys.
Really?
I think so.
Or just act like you're interested.
What is our picture going to be that people are just going to give us tons of money? Let me hear your idea of what our profile picture is going to be. 2 women in their 30s.
No, I just picture, they're like, why are these insurance salesmen on this website?
Well, they're trying to bang these 2 30-year-old girls.
You know, 60-year-old, that we're at the age that rich 60-year-olds think we're age appropriate.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
I don't think so. They still want 20-year-olds.
Well, I just know when I was on OkCupid, and I still am because I've just never deleted my profile.
Okay.
I'll get emails being like, blah, this person's interested in you. And everyone I click on, it's always like a 50 to 60-year-old guy.
Right, but that guy's not even a millionaire. That guy's just a 60-year-old guy that thinks he should be able to bang you. That guy's not even rich. He just thinks in the world that we're living in that he should be able to bang a 30-year-old because that's what women... Like, he thinks, hey, I'm making $50,000 a year. I should be able to bang a 30-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, a guy who's a millionaire is like, I should be able to bang a 23-year-old.
I guess.
Write some of these guys back and ask them how much money they have.
All right, well, maybe we should start a website that's not for millionaires, but for guys that make $50,000 or above.
How much money? But we need somebody to invest in. We can't have like 1 million people giving us like $1,000, and then we have to give all those people $1,000 back. It'd be easier if we had one.
Oh,
person.
I thought you were like sexual favors. Like we'd have to.
For
like,
God, no.
Can you imagine giving 1,000 blowjobs back?
No.
I don't think I've done close to 10 in my lifetime.
10 blowjobs?
No.
No way. You haven't given 10 blowjobs out?
I don't. Well, I know it's not a lot. It's not in the 3 digits. I'm in the 2 digits.
There's no. I mean, yeah, I guess everyone's in the 2 digits. No, not everyone. I guess that's not true.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a girl that like keeps a log of them? Like, you know, when you're in prison and you make those little stick figures to how many days you're in? Some girl that's doing that with her blowjob log.
Maybe. I know I stopped keeping track of sexual partners in my 30s. Not because it got to be so much, but then after a while you're like, oh, who cares?
I can tell you all my sexual partners, so I think that I should be having sex with more people. I think that's what that means. I think I should go on a spree where I just black out and have sex with a lot of people. And I'm like, yeah, now I've lost count.
Yeah.
Now I have no idea.
Yeah, I lost. You could.
I lost count around 7.
I'm probably, I guess maybe near 10.
Oh, that's not even that many.
No, it's
you couldn't
not.
Count. You couldn't count up to that far.
I had a friend. Well, after a while, you're just like, what's the point?
I guess just to know.
I had a friend one time that did 30 in 3 years, and I was like, that's 10 a year.
But that's really only 1 a month.
Yeah, if you think about it, when you break it down like that, you're like, that's not so much. Especially like I know guys that.
I mean,
do
especially
almost
guys,
one a day.
Yeah, guys that like go on the road and stuff that are doing 1 every night.
How time consuming.
It does seem very time consuming to have to like to get to the point where somebody will let you have sex with them. So it's like you have to talk to them, you have to pretend to be interested.
You have to get them out
of wherever they're at.
Yeah, meaning like you can't stay here.
Oh, you mean after?
Yeah.
After you have to be... Well, I guess it's better if you have sex with them at their place.
That's true. And you just say,
and then you
I
can
have
just
an
leave.
early morning.
Yeah.
I heard one guy comic, a well-known one, he had a plan, and I thought I was like, that sounds pretty good, where he said he and his wife or girlfriend have an open relationship. The only thing is you're just not allowed to spend the night here.
But he could have sex with the girl there?
Yeah. Or it was like BJ's only.
Now, was he really married?
No.
Oh, so he lied about it.
He lied about it. But so then the girls know.
That they have to get the fuck out.
Yeah, and that don't get attached. And girls still did it. Guys, I know if I was in that position, guys would still do it too, because they don't give a shit if you're married or have
Yeah, of course. But... So they could only get blowjobs? What girl's signing up for that?
I don't know. They're out there. I have this argument with Joe where I'm like, what girl likes giving BJs? And Joe's like, Sarah, they're out there. And I'm like, they're lying.
I guess I get that you could like doing that, but like not just like doing that and then being like, okay, I'm happy with that and I'm leaving. Like not to just do that and get nothing in return.
I'm sure there was some stuff in return.
Like, I'll hold the door open for somebody. Like, that's something I'll do and expect nothing in return.
Yeah.
But I at least expect a thank you.
Or I'll give change to a homeless person.
Right, but I'm not going to just blow some guy and then just be like, okay, I'm bye.
I'm content.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, that's like a lose situation. But I guess, from what I've gathered, there's girls that like doing that.
I don't hate it, but I'm not gonna just go do that with a guy I just met who's married and he's like, hey, I could just get blowjobs. And I'm like, oh, cool. Can I be one of them?
Yeah.
Like, that's not something I would ever do.
Like they really respect you afterwards.
Yeah. I'd be like, oh, great. Well, good luck with that. Good luck on your venture.
Yeah. I know. I just feel like that would be a drive home that I would take, would be like, huh, what happened?
I'd be like, I don't think that I came out of that favorably. I'd be like, I think I lost in that.
I would feel like I'd have to go steal something to
like
to make everything even again.
Like slash his tires.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would not. I can't wait to find out who this is after.
Yeah. Guys, email me and I'll email it back.
Nice.
This is just hearsay.
Right. Most hearsay I think is real.
I totally agree with that sentiment. When people are like,
I don't
it's
know
all
for a
rumors, but most of the time, like, where there's smoke, there's fire.
True.
It might not be the exact thing, but there's
like
something weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like a roundabout story.
Yeah.
What were you telling me about the clown posse?
Oh, yeah. Have you been paying attention to...
You know I pay attention to nothing.
Well,
this is right now you updating me.
I get like to give Adrian all the news.
Yes.
All my news I get is from Facebook.
That's the best news.
There's clowns terrorizing neighborhoods.
Okay.
Random. It's first it was seen in North Carolina, but just like trying to lure kids into the woods.
Because that's what kids like, clowns.
I know.
What happens to just a good old van with candy?
I don't know. You know what? I never got lured. Nothing weird like that.
I never got lured either as a kid.
I remember one girl I knew in high school, and there was an announcement saying, if you see this blue Buick with this license plate, stay away, because he just showed his dick to her.
Yeah, I mean, I had like kids doing stuff like that, like showing you their dick as a kid, but I never had somebody in a van.
It was a grown man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I never had a guy like in a van being like, hey, come here.
Come here. Psst, psst. Adrian. Hey. I got candy.
I got a baby Ruth.
I've always thought I would more likely to be lured into a van in my adult years.
Just because you don't want to walk?
Well, that's one. Well, I had this incident. So my parents weren't in town in Houston, so I had to get a cab. So I'm standing in line for the cab, and it was taking a long time, and the cabin, you know how they have, what do they call them? Cab ladies or men that like, that's their job, is to make sure you get into a cab.
No,
they have them at LaGuardia. So they make sure that you're in a yellow cab, or it's a company. This guy goes, hey, do you need a ride? And I was like, yeah, I do. And thinking that it could be an Uber. And then I started thinking that, walking towards him, thinking that I was about to get into an Uber. And then I was like, this is crazy. And then I went back, and then she was like, were you going to get into that car with that guy? And I was like, yeah, I just thought maybe it was an Uber. But I seriously was I was about to get into a car thinking that it was like a lift or a pool. I don't know.
I remember hanging out in the Bronx, like just in my drinking days, and I was going to call a cab, and instead there was like a guy hanging out that was like driving people. I mean, I'm surprised I didn't get murdered. There was a guy driving people and acting as a cab.
Yeah.
And I got in the car, and he was like, sit in the front just because I don't want to get like pulled over.
Yeah.
And then he drove me to my friend's house, and I think I just gave him whatever I wanted, and like that guy could have totally murdered me.
What a nice guy. Like, we've had nothing but great experiences.
Right, so why wouldn't I just get into a random car again?
I had one time I ran out of gas on the freeway, and I was late to work, and I just got into a random truck, and they drove me to a gas station.
Right, so you see stuff like that where you're like, I'm going to take a chance.
No one tells those stories.
No one tells those stories.
Those never hit the news.
No.
Instead, it's just like this small percentage of people getting...
Because for the most part, I think more people are good than bad. Like
if
you get into a random car, I think for the most part, you're not going to get raped or murdered.
True. I feel like I've been in a lot of random cars, and I have not been raped or murdered.
Would you think if you were in a car and you were like, all right, this guy is going to rape or murder me, and you had a chance to like open the door and roll out, would you be scared to like do the rollout? I'd be so, even though you know this guy has a gun and he's like, I'm going to kill you. And you're like, oh, but then jump out.
Well, I was in Long Island doing a gig. And they don't have the greatest taxi car service. And I went to the nearest car service and I waited there for 40 minutes. And finally they're like, all right, your ride's here. And because it's such a loose business, they didn't tell me they were going to go pick up their friends before they dropped me off at the train station. So they started like going to all these houses, slowly picking up people. And I seriously got worried and I still didn't say anything.
You were like, all right, I'm just going to die.
Yeah, well, a little bit. And then also we were like, let me just see this.
Let's just see what happens.
Because they did take me to the train station, but if I did freak out, they would be like, what did that white girl just do?
Like if you freaked out while everyone's in the car?
Yeah.
'Cause then you still have to be in the car with them.
Like I have to get back in there with like...
But what would you do? You mean get out?
Yeah, if I did a rollout. And they're like,
and then they
hey,
stopped.
lady,
Then
what
they
are you
stopped and they were like, hey, what'd you do? And you're like, I thought you were going to kill me. And they're like, no, we're just doing an Uber pool. And
Yeah,
you're like, oh, can you help? I'm going to get back in now.
I feel so stupid.
And they're like, yeah, did you get hurt when you jumped out at 80 miles an hour?
See,
like, kind of.
Yeah, I'm more worried about the embarrassment of a rollout that's not necessary than death.
I'm always embarrassed of stuff.
Yeah, I think I could handle
Like I've been like
walking into my own grave.
I've always worried about like having sex with a guy and him being like I have an STD and me being like, instead of like making him feel bad, me being like, oh, I guess I'm just getting this STD.
And you know what?
Because I'd feel so weird being like, oh, gross, and now I'm gonna get dressed and leave. Like that is so embarrassing to me. Where I'm like, I guess I'm going to get whatever this is.
I feel like that's the like story of my life kind of stuff. Of
where
like,
you're just like,
I'm more worried about like hurting your feelings
than like getting an STD.
Yeah,
or...
I'm surprised I'm just not murdered and riddled with STDs.
You might be.
I could be. Like when they do my autopsy, they're like, this one.
She had syphilis.
Was this a prostitute?
She had the plague.
No, I know. Because yeah, that's such an awkward thing. I remember one time my sister let this weird guy hold her.
What do you mean hold her?
Well, like she kind of knew him, but she didn't want to be like no or like
hold her where, like in
like spoon her.
Okay, so but she was like making out with him.
No, it was just like this sad moment where you're like, I don't want to get this. Also, because you also have to deal with the guy being like.
But she had
being
to. Why was
shitty.
she with him though?
She must have worked. There probably are some details that are left out, but I relate to her situation.
Where you're in a situation where you feel uncomfortable to say no.
Yes.
Yeah.
I always think of that book, that Dr. Seuss book, Oh, the Places You Will Go. But then I like to add because you're afraid to say no.
That's probably true.
Yeah, I just feel like I've a lot of weird stuff is because I haven't been like, this is weird, I'm not into it. Can you drop me
because
off?
you feel the thing is too, if you just stood up for yourself, people would probably be like, okay.
Yeah.
But because I also feel weird, I just go along with this uncomfortable thing.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, you could have just said no. And you're like, oh, that feels so weird.
Yeah, a lot of times I'm like, I didn't know I had that option.
Yeah, I never know I have the option. Like, I've been in uncomfortable meetings that are like not going well and I'm feeling bad about myself. And somebody's like, why didn't you just get up and leave? And I'm like, I didn't know I could.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, you could have just got up. Like that horrible meeting I had with that manager.
Oh, yeah. That was
where the guy's just like berating me and talking about how awful I am.
Ugh, meetings are the worst.
And then I called somebody up and they're like, you should have just left. And I'm like, I didn't know I could just leave.
I know. We weren't given those tools.
No, I guess nowhere as a kid was I given those tools to just be like,
you can go.
Yeah, it's so weird.
I know. I'm wondering, although I do know guys that have been in the same situations.
And they would just probably get up and leave.
No, or that I know guys that also feel awkward about saying no about stuff and they're also weird. But then I also think of all like the weird stuff, the stories that I get to tell because
you didn't say no.
Because I didn't say no.
You're in a traveling marching band.
Yeah, well, like one time I helped this guy get prescription drugs all over the city because I didn't want to be like, I don't want to drive you.
So you just drove.
He was a friend of mine. But I just remember being like, what am I doing? Like and Houston's a huge urban sprawl. And also it was like, that's a crime. Although I was just driving him. I wasn't doing the actual fraud part.
But there are times where I think, like, I could be the girl that, like, gets... You remember what's the movie, the Hannibal Lecter movie, where he asked the girl to help him bring the
lotion?
couch into the van,
Yes.
and she's like, okay. Like, I could be that girl.
Oh, easily.
Where I'm just like, oh, I'm just going to help you bring a van, a couch in a van, and now you're going to wear me.
But then our story is we end up just, like, helping that guy move. I think I'd rather be in the bottom of a well.
I guess, but then he's, like, freaking out.
Yeah.
That movie still scares me.
Oh, it's creepy. But, yeah, I guess the lesson is don't be the one that gets backed into the van.
Right. You'd be like, I'll help you, but I need to be the one that's on the outside.
Yeah.
I've watched one too many movies.
It's weird when you have to explain that to people, and a lot of guys where you're like, no, because I don't know who you are.
Right. It's like, hey, I could be taken somewhere against my will.
Yeah. And then they get all insulted that you think.
I'm not going to rape you. It's like, well, I don't know. You could.
I guess it's the same of being like, you order a burger and you're just like, don't spit in my food.
And they're like, well, why would I spit in your food? You think a guy's like, well, now I'm going to rape you because you said that.
Yeah. Well, I remember one time, it was late at night, and this guy at the restaurant that I was working at was like, can you please just open? I was like, no, first of all, we're closed, and I don't know you.
Yeah. Why would I just open up?
You could be some deranged lunatic. And then he got all insulted.
Who cares?
I know. I probably would have gotten murdered that night.
That's right. I'd be doing this podcast by myself.
God, that would suck. But yeah, we forgot. I didn't go into the hysteria. Well, I guess it's just we have to be on the lookout for clowns. I almost think that it's viral marketing.
What are they doing, though?
They're just saying that they're luring kids into the woods. Or
So
like threatening or hanging outside of school and stuff like that.
Wait, I thought that they had... Because I thought there was a story in Long Island where there was a guy dressed like a clown with a knife.
I heard that too. But now it's becoming folklore, and now all these articles are like, don't worry about it. It's not a thing that you have to be worried about.
So do you think the guys, like the original clown guys, are like upset that now these other people are doing it and they're like, this was our thing?
Well, I do get worried. I have one friend in Houston who might be listening to this, Craig, who for extra money dresses up as a clown for parties, and now I'm all like, don't get shot.
Well, I mean, it's different if he's like not hanging out by a school with like a knife.
If he's by himself in the woods.
Yeah. Do you think he's just hanging out and like luring kids to the... What are they doing with the kids in the woods?
I don't know. I don't think they've really been successful and actually lured anybody into the woods.
It'd be weird if some clowns did that and they got the kids to the woods and they're like, oh, fuck, what do we do now? We didn't think we'd ever get anyone to the woods.
I didn't even bring any candy.
What are we supposed to do now?
I guess you just entertain them.
Like, we're going to just sit down and tell a story, guys.
Yeah, trying to make, like, balloon animals.
So bizarre. I guess because it's Halloween. What else do we have on there to talk about?
I don't know. Part of me thinks, I was like, maybe there's a big clown movie that's going to be happening.
Well, weren't they comparing something to, like, the Clown Posse or something?
Not that. Oh, I think because the Clown Posse.
Insane Clown Posse.
Insane Clown Posse was addressed.
Trump or something?
And they have written a statement out.
But what did they say? They're like Trump or something, right? Wasn't that something they said?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't go into depth in reading the news article.
You said you didn't watch the president.
I didn't watch the vice presidential debates.
I watched like 5 minutes of it. All I thought was that Vice President Pence, I think he has a nice head of hair.
He does.
That's all I was thinking while I was watching it.
They're like two guys that I feel like I just categorize as the same kind of guy.
I agree.
Do you ever, like, I have that in comedy all the time. There's like a group of guys and I'm like,
they're the same.
Those three guys you could be the same person.
You could be the same person.
Even though your belief systems are different.
Yeah.
If they were like, Tim Kaine's coming, I'm like, I would think that might be Mike Pence. Their names are very similar too.
Yeah, Kaine.
Is that his name? I don't even know their full name. I know Mike Pence because of my pants.
I think that's funny. I think he's actually kind of cute.
Yeah, for an older guy.
I think he's better looking than the other guy.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
he's better
definitely.
looking than any of them.
Out of all
Trump, Clinton, and all the contestants on The Price is Right, I think Pence is the best looking.
He's the hottest.
He's the hottest.
But he's also the more psychotic one. Or not psychotic, extreme.
Right. He's the one that wants no.
He wants you to bury your fetus if you have an abortion, or you have to pay for the cremation of it.
I just feel like if you so you get an abortion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they give you it's probably this big, probably the size of a quarter.
Yeah.
So then you're cremating that. Can't you just do that yourself?
I'd
be like,
no, you have to go to an actual crematorium and get the proper procedure and pay for the money.
You know what they'd probably do?
This is how rumors get started. But I'm all for it.
You know what they would do? They'd probably just make these little, you ever see those little mini, I don't know why I seen this, somebody was cooking a mini lasagna. It was this big. Yes. You had to cook it with mini utensils. I feel like they would have mini crematories for these mini little fetuses.
That's kind of cute.
Where you could just kind of have one in your house. And you
a little oven?
Yeah, like a little mini...
Like a little kid
like a
oven?
mini abortion oven, and you just put it in there.
Yeah.
And then it would click when it's done, and you would just take the ashes. And
then you have these little tiny tweezers to take it out.
Yeah, you take it out.
With little gloves.
What do you have to do with the ashes after?
Yeah, I don't know.
He didn't say what you have to do with that.
No, some people like to, you can go somewhere nice like the Caribbean and spread them over the ocean.
We were just talking about this in the car. Because wasn't there... What was the other guy that was I know nothing about politics, so I should never talk about it.
I know. I don't either, but that's probably the beauty of this.
What was the guy that everyone hated, that when you had an abortion, he wanted you to go to trial then for murder? Oh,
that's a lot, but I don't remember. It's in the same category of the Canes and the...
Yeah, but that's really egregious. To have all these cases on a docket now where you're going to try each case.
Oh, yeah. It's already hard enough. It is with the judicial system now that you have to...
ticket? You know how long it takes to fight a speeding ticket? Now you're going to fight all these abortion cases?
Yeah, do you know, apparently, what is it? 1 out of 3 or 1 out of 4 women have an abortion. I think some have more than others, so then it averages out to that. That's a lot.
Oh, what was his name? The guy that everyone hated. He was the other Republican.
Ted Cruz?
Yes, that's who it was.
Yeah, he had the face to hate. I put him in a separate category because he has a different kind of face.
Yeah, but he was the one I think that said if you have an abortion, then you have to go to trial for murder. The weird thing is,
Trump said that too.
Did he? Mm-hmm. But I thought he was also.
But I think he says whatever to get a nomination
because he used to be really liberal though. He used to be more liberal than Hillary.
Yeah, but I guess he's on the Republican ticket, so
now
he's trying to get all those religious.
But what's weird during his when him and Hillary were I guess giving their first speeches, he didn't say anything even about religion.
Oh, usually you mean during the debates or
not the debates? Just their talk, their long
rallies and stuff.
Whatever the fuck they do. Their TED
long,
talks,
boring talks.
Their TED talks.
Yeah,
he didn't say anything about abortion or any of that stuff.
No,
because I think he's more in the middle of that.
I agree. I always wonder. It's hard because you don't want to take your chance on it, but I actually don't think he is going to facilitate most of the stuff that he has said. I only think he says a lot of it to get the vote.
It will be interesting.
I know. We already talked about we're staying here, though.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to go to Canada. I would never go to Canada.
No. Plus, our money is better than theirs right now.
For what? I won't go back there,
it's
especially
colder.
after I haven't gotten asked back to do the Montreal Comedy Festival. I will never go back to Canada.
Yeah. Did you hear that, Montreal?
Did you hear that, Montreal? And you're banning pit bulls?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but they took that up.
It's a temporary thing, though.
No, that was really sad.
It was sad. They were wearing those little muzzles.
Although pit bulls scare the shit out of me. Although I know pit bull owners are just I'd be in it if you were Pitbull the singer to annihilate him.
Do you hate a pit bull?
No. I guess I could take it or leave it like anything else.
Was there anything else we were going to talk about?
Well, last night I had an interesting show.
Oh, yeah. Let's hear about this.
This is probably one of the hardest shows, but also at the same time, fun and sweet at the same time. I had to perform a show at a pizza shop in Brooklyn.
Which is already a challenge.
It's a I was an hour out of my way, and I was looking forward to...
Was it in Williamsburg?
Park Slope.
Okay.
And I was looking forward to trying out some new stuff. And I walk in, and the whole audience was just one big special needs class. It's fine, but, like, they're not going to understand, like, my IUD joke.
No.
Any subtle nuance. They brought out cookies to them, and I lost them.
Oh, God, yeah.
I lost them to chocolate chip
puppies,
cookies.
Anything.
And then there was a girl that went up before me, and she got asked by one of them, or one of the students. His name was Caesar. Very sweet. But he asked her, has she ever been raped before? And I was like...
That's an interesting question. How old are these special needs kids?
I would have to say they're older in their years. Anywhere between, like, 18 to 30.
So they know what rape is.
I guess so, but maybe he just knows what's out in the zeitgeist of rape culture.
Right, maybe he's just heard it.
Yeah. And so she handled it like a trooper.
What did she say?
She just went right into her rape jokes.
Did they laugh?
Yeah. I mean, they weren't dark rape jokes. They weren't like wishing rape on somebody else, but just like talking about, being a victim of it or whatever. But it was definitely like, I don't think I've ever seen a heckle like that.
From a special needs person asking if you've ever been
Or just
raped.
in general.
Now,
you're not taught how to answer those questions.
Now, did you get to the show and did you think to yourself, I should cut my losses and leave? Because sometimes that happens where you get to a show and you go, I can leave right now and not waste or invest any more of my time into this situation.
That's true. But I already traveled an hour away, and they gave me 2 tickets for some pizza.
Okay. I guess, but you could have gotten the pizza and left, or you had to perform for the pizza.
I probably could have gotten the pizza. I think it was worth it.
You think it was worth it?
Yeah, because there were also, like, non-special ed students there, so you could play. But I also didn't want to, like, act like the special needs folks weren't there and just play to the back of the room and be insulting to them, because they obviously came for a comedy show.
How many were there?
5. And then Caesar always chimed in. One time he goes, during my act, he's like, that's too personal.
I feel like Caesar maybe isn't that special needs if he's knowing all this stuff.
Yeah, maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was a teacher. I don't know.
Was he a teacher, you think?
No. Well, no. I know who the 2 teachers were loving the show.
Of course, they're hanging out with these special needs kids all day.
Yeah, they're sweet as can be. But, like, this guy, I liked he was like, that's personal. I was like, yeah, and I had to explain. I was like,
you just like, you asked this
personal.
girl if she just got raped, Caesar. That's what I would have said. I've been like, Caesar, do you know how personal rape is? And I guess you can't really talk sense to special needs kids.
There's not going to be too much of, like, reasoning with them, or also, like, and you can't lose your patience.
Oh, I could never have a special needs kid.
No. Oh, it'd be hard.
I already don't.
Although they're always really sweet.
I don't know that I could. I know they're really sweet, but I don't know that I could have a regular child, let alone a child that never grows up. And I know that sounds mean, but I'm just being honest.
No,
and that's
I
the thing is, like, a lot
it's
of people,
hard work.
A lot of people think that's mean, but it's like, no, I just know myself. I don't think I have the patience to be a mother forever like that.
No, I just gather from that statement that you are commending the people.
Yeah, like sometimes even Marley will just start walking around. She starts pacing, and I get fed up with her, and I just lock her out of my room. Like,
yeah,
I just can't deal with her walking around. Like late at night, she just starts like walking around. It sounds like she's tap dancing.
I know.
Because it sounds like this.
Oh, I don't mind. I guess when you're trying to sleep, it's a little.
Yeah, because she'll just walk in and out like she's pacing, and I just get annoyed and I shut the door so she won't come in. Like, I don't have the patience to deal with a special needs child all the time.
No, let alone like just a regular child. Like, you have to act like you're interested in.
Yeah, I
in
just,
everything.
I just see how I was fucked up by my parents, and I just, knowing all that, still think I would fuck a kid up. Not even on purpose, just because of lack of patience.
Yeah. No, it takes a lot. And then not only just like a lot of patients, you don't get any relief. Like they're with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah. And even when they grow up, you're still worrying about them.
Yeah. I mean, they might be able to live in a facility, but you have to have a little bit of money.
Oh, you mean like a special needs child?
Yeah,
Forget it. And then once you die, you're worried about them, you know, because you're worried about them. Like once you're dead, who's going to take care of them?
Oh, yeah. I feel like that's one of the situations where I'm just obviously speaking out of no experience, but where you'd rather have them go before you go.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, it's easier. I love that we were ending.
That was a sad way to end this.
But the show wasn't sad, and I think they left having a good time. If not, they left the chocolate chip cookie. I just love that I got upstaged by a chocolate chip cookie.
I think they don't. I'm sure they don't remember anything that was said on stage. They probably remember pizza and cookies, and
or just the way that you made them feel,
and being out. That's
it was a nice evening, something different from the norm.
They probably remember Caesar being loud, like he always is. That's about it.
I gathered that I was like, Caesar must be the funny one in the group.
Probably
he was the leader.
He was the leader.
Yeah, and the teachers or the volunteers or whatever, you definitely felt they were like, I love Caesar, always speaks the truth. Like he just shoots from the hip.
I'm sure, because the other kids probably were quiet, right?
Oh yeah, like you know how kids say the darndest things, like special needs kids say even more darndest things. Like,
well, yeah, because they really don't have that.
There's no filter.
Yeah.
So if you don't know how you're perceived to the outside world, just hang out with a special needs kid and they will let you know.
Ugly, smelly, fat. And then you're just be like, hey, your
stories are sad.
You'd be like, you're fucking retarded. You know that? You're never going to be able to live on your own. Somebody's going to have to take care of you the rest of your life.
And then
and then everyone's like, you can't say that too far.
But you're like, but Caesar's
just
cut me down.
He just made me feel like total shit.
But then they're like, but Adrian, you're not drilling from the mouth.
Whatever.
So you have a leg up.
But like, whatever. It's very easy for you to say that.
Yeah, that's true.
Caesar just attacked me. He just brought up my rape.
I thought that if somebody asked me if I've ever been raped, I would be like, oh my God, that first of all, it depressed me out. Like, do I look like someone? Do I look like that's rough around the edges?
Am I giving off that vibe?
That I'm a victim? But she answered it truthfully. No, if you guys are wondering, no, she has not been raped.
Thank God.
I know. So it ended nicely.
It did.
But I'll miss you, Caesar. Also, his shirt said Eagles, and I couldn't tell if it was for the football team or if he just likes Eagles.
If he just likes Eagles.
Yes. Cutie pie.
Well, I think that's where we're going to end our podcast.
On special needs.
Special needs and rape. Two very important issues.
Oh my God. Why do you ever wonder? I always end up talking about the darkest shit.
Yeah, I mean if you watch my comedy, that's what it is.
It's more fascinating.
School shooting,
right?
Yeah, of course. I was thinking of this the other day, especially with like school being back in and all these school shootings. Like if you're a parent, you probably just hearing like a teacher fucked your kid, you're like, thank God they weren't shot at school.
Oh yeah, they should just let that go.
I guess. Like, you can't, like, I guess you're not going to tutor your kids, you know, or school them yourselves, but I think you really have to send them to private school.
Oh, if you don't want them to get shot or fucked?
I mean, maybe even fucked, they'll still get fucked, but, like, there really is not a lot of private school shootings.
No, that's a really great point.
Yeah.
But I'm sure someone will find a way.
I mean, yeah, I think like that in Catholic school, you might get fucked by a priest, but it's like at least your kid's gonna be alive. They're gonna live to tell about it.
You'd think there'd be more shootings in Catholic schools.
I guess why though? Why would there be more? Because it's like a
more
more controlled environment. It is harder to get in. Like,
but more weird shit's happening.
I don't know.
Back in the day, I think it probably got a little bit better now that everyone's aware.
Maybe, but like. To come in, there was security, like not heavy security, but like you had to check in with somebody. But I guess, yeah, that lady wasn't armed with anything.
Yeah.
Also, too, I went to an all-girl school, and I don't think there's a lot of girl shooters.
No.
So maybe that's it, too. Like private school and all-girl schools.
Yeah, I feel like you're right that it's definitely it's a male-dominated industry.
It
for
really
sure.
is.
So, ladies, get to those school shooting mics. Work on it.
We had that whole episode that we lost. That was so funny.
We'll get back to it.
I know.
We'll stumble across those subject matters later in life.
Because they come up all the time.
They do. Well, we do tend to go on the darker side.
I know.
On
That's where the fun stuff is at.
If anything, there's a beam of light coming from Vag.
That's true. And
But on the other side of it, it's just dark.
well, like the beam of light is the vagina and the dark side is the asshole.
Yes, we're in the asshole right
We're on
now.
the asshole right now.
We will make it out of the vagina one night.
We will.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah, stay tuned.
And if you find any investors, send them our way.
Yeah.
We have a lot of
invest in us.
invest in us.
Doesn't that sound good?
Yes.
All right. I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.